Jacob Jans here with Writing Launch. So today I'm going to talk about how to set your goals as a freelance writer and how to make concrete steps in order to achieve those goals. So maybe, depending on what you want, maybe you want to reach an audience with your writing, maybe you want to earn a comfortable living, or get published by a major magazine, or get recognition from your fellow writers, or maybe you have an important story to share or want to earn a side income in your spare time. There are so many possibilities with freelance writing. That's the beauty of it. It's extremely flexible. So take a moment to think about your goals. Why are you really doing this? What are the exciting possibilities for you with freelance writing? Okay, so when a lot of people talk about goal setting, there's a big mistake that many of them make. They learn about something called SMART goals, which means that the goals should be very specific and concrete. But that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. The most important thing with any goal is that it is big enough to motivate you. You've got to be inspired to take action, or it's going to be really hard to achieve the goal. Because you're not really going to be motivated to work on it. Believe me, I've set a lot of mediocre goals in my life, and the results were mediocre at best. But I've also set a lot of inspiring goals for myself and worked really hard to achieve those goals. And I've really enjoyed working hard on those goals because I was inspired the entire time. So the next step, once you've set a goal, is to get clear on why you are doing this. And make sure those are good reasons, because when the going gets tough, this is going to sustain you. You've got to really believe in what you're doing so that you will be motivated to push through those concrete steps, those specific actions that you're going to create later. But the first step is to create a big goal that you really believe in and know why you are achieving it. And this does not have to be concrete or specific. It just has to be something that really motivates you. Okay, so once you've figured out what you're aiming for and why you are aiming for it, it's time to get specific. Here's when it can really help to follow in the footsteps of another person who's done what you are trying to do, because they've already figured out a lot of the obstacles, the solutions to those obstacles, and how to overcome those obstacles. So let me tell you about Susan Lewis, one of our students at Writing Launch, and a wonderful writer, by the way. She works very hard at her full-time job, over 70 hours a week, which is pretty incredible by itself. However, she wanted to launch a freelance writing career. She had been trying for some time without any luck, so she changed tactics. She joined Writing Launch and found a solution. She learned how to send a good pitch. She learned about establishing a niche, how to find publishers that suited her. She learned the concrete steps to take. And the big thing she figured out is to start sending out high-quality pitches on a regular basis. And that's exactly what led to her first paid writing job. I've attached her story as a download in this lesson, so be sure to read it. So there are two very big and very important things you can do to make your life as a freelance writer much easier. If you do these at the beginning of the process, it lays out a very good foundation that makes everything else easier along the way. So these are things that Ian talks about in detail in the No BS course on freelance writing. However, I'm going to give you a brief overview here. So the first is to learn how to position yourself in the eyes of people who may publish you and pay you for your writing. So this is covered in the first lesson in Ian's course. So I love how Ian presents it. Your writing style, your voice is the product that you're selling to others. So you want to really get clear on who you are as a writer and what your style is. And the twist here, so to speak, is that you do this from the perspective of the editors, from the people that you are providing value to. So you want to think about their needs and how you communicate that you'll fulfill those needs and really support the people that you are writing for. So in the course, Ian goes into details about the 5 steps to position yourself in your writing. Here's the steps. Step 1 is to define your style. Step 2 is to define your audience. Step 3 is to figure out your niche. Step 4 is to define your purpose. and step 5 is to declare your voice. These are sort of the building blocks of your writing career that you will create in order to launch yourself with a very solid foundation. And you can go really far with this. So spend time thinking about those specific steps. You want to define your style, define your audience, figure out your niche, define your purpose, and declare your voice as a writer. Okay, because many writers struggle to get their first publication, I'm going to give you a few pitches and show you the specifics of these pitches so that you can see how other people have done it and gotten published by sending out a good pitch. This pitch from Steph Osmansky ended up landing her a regular blogging gig that she was very happy with. So it goes, I'm writing because I'm a huge fan of Dogster, saw that you were hiring on ed2010.com, and I believe I could be a valuable freelance contributor to your team. I live in New York with my 15-month-old Pomsky, Coda. We are big fans of Dogster, holistic dog care, dog parking it up, and more. I'm a very hands-on dog mama. I make her treats from scratch and enjoy sharing our travels and other dog mama tips on my blog and to our Instagram followers. If Dogster has any openings or opportunities for freelance writers, I would love to be considered. I saw that you're currently hiring an intern, but as I'm in grad school, I'm not sure that's a position that would work for me. I'd be more interested in contributing print and online content remotely if possible. So I really love this pitch because not only is it a strong style written in a very strong voice, Steph has really established a clear niche that she wants to write for, and she demonstrates her expertise in such a fun way that is really engaging to the editor, and it really shows that Steph really cares about the topic. Also, notice the similarity here to Ian's pitch template, but it's adapted to the specific situation, and it really comes across as something genuine in the writer's own voice. This is not something that is just a template, but she's really made it something that is true to herself. Okay, so next is an extremely simple pitch. Now, this style of pitch works really well when you are submitting an article on spec, an article that is already written. So it doesn't have to be complicated at all. Just keep it really simple, and you'll see in a second. And this is the article. This is the pitch that Susan Lewis used to get published in her first publication. You can read more about it in the case study I've attached to this lesson. I write stories and blog about my work in the past with women, along with current jobs in life. I've been writing for years and like to submit stories that I love to have written. I hope you enjoy this one, and thank you for your consideration. Okay, and notice here, even though the pitch is really simple and really short, she still communicates a clear style, a clear voice, a clear niche, and it's really clear from reading this that she genuinely cares about the topic and what she's writing about. So your next steps as a freelance writer, really think about what you want to achieve as a writer. Think about why you are doing this and then figure out a plan moving forward. If you don't know the perfect next step, that's okay. If you are motivated, you'll figure it out. For freelance writers in general, when you are getting started, the first medium to short-term thing to aim for is establishing a good routine for pitching, which is something we love to help writers with at Writing Launch. So if you are new to freelance writing, think about your voice, your style, think about your niche, and get started pitching.